There was a good start, a good middle, and a good finish, and everything else was a wash. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT, and we have a new North American champion. Hooray! Finally, the title has a little bit of meaning. There was also some stuff on the show where I'm like, why in the world they think this is a good idea to put on television? That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, Poppy's opening welcomes us. Have fun on seeing that, and interpreting that however you want. So, we have Toni Storm versus Zoey Stark. And this was fine. This was a good opening match. Toni Storm has taken the most heel route by wearing pants. If you get it, you get it. In all seriousness, I love Toni Storm. Think she's got a very bright future in wrestling. For somebody that's been at it for a few years, having met her at an indie show almost 3 years ago, she is really good and really, really talented and more than, capable enough to wrestle for another 15 fucking years with how good she is. Zoey Stark is a good performer. Outside the ring is a little bit questionable. If you know, you know. There was a drop kick right to Toni Storm's face. Good lord, it looked like she might have dislodged a couple teeth. And then Toni grinds down on Zoey for a while. Storm 0 for 2. Oh no, what the hell's going on? Could Zoey possibly make it 2-0 on Toni? Nope. Some weird STO thingy. I don't know what the hell to call that. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm avenges the loss that she had to Zoey Stark. And then suddenly Frankie Monet shows up. I thought she was going to wrestle. Apparently not. She does, goofy stuff as a dog mom to the dog that looks like it's totally frightened. And then we cut back to Legoland Phantasm. I mean, we cut back to Wilder Mendoza. They're talking about how they won a tag title shot, and Ciampa and Thatcher say, hey, we're here to challenge you. Because they beat you, but they haven't faced us. Okay, fair. It's actually some good logic. And Grimes is confronted by Jake Atlas when he parks his car. We do more comedy about Ted DiBiase showing up. Ted DiBiase showing up on a wrestling program in 2021. I love Ted DiBiase. I just don't know what the end game is supposed to be here. So, we get a spa day where Candice and Indy are doing spa stuff. Fortunately, they're not in tanning beds, so we don't have a Final Destination 3 scene. And if you get that, oh boy, that was a fucking hell of a scene. That and the weightlifting thing where the guy gets his head smashed, those were fucking tremendous death scenes. And the high point of the Final Destination series, because 4 and 5 were not all that good. Why they call one the Final Destination when it wasn't the last one? So anyway, enough horror stuff. Loomis ends up being one of the spa workers, but they're talking about how the girls are talking, having like they're dishing as women are known to do. And he's like, oh, I don't like Dexter anymore, this kind of stuff, even though she's the one that pursued Dexter for a while, and then he kind of broke down his walls, let his walls down to let her in, and now because of miscommunications and the fact that Candice has basically been trying to get Indy away in her own way by, using the way to get her away from all of this bullshit. Man, that was really trying to shoehorn all that stuff in there by buying chocolates and, flowers and everything, but saying, oh, wait, Ember and Shotzi were the ones doing this, and you need to be mad at them. That's how we have the tag titles, and they're not going to have the tag titles very long with the next scene that they did. And she calls him a loser. Loomis, by the way, was one of the workers giving Indy a facial. I'm going to let you interpret how that goes. From a man doesn't blink, giving another woman a facial. So, prime target, Cross and Balor. Cross analyzing the footage from their previous match, like, analyzing it like it's an actual fight. And you get Heyman and Pat McAfee and another guy weighing in. I think it was Bass Rutten. I'm not totally sure. Good stuff. Excited to see how they do that match next week. And I think they're going to need to give it at least 20 to 25 minutes because they are putting a lot of hype behind this. Now we have Jake Atlas versus Cameron Grimes. The first, Grimes shows a history of Ted DiBiase's best moments. Some good vignettes and then him getting beat in a whole lot of matches, especially later in his career. And Cameron Grimes is really good in the ring. He's trying to make this work. This doesn't work for me. And Jake Atlas has meant absolutely nothing in NXT. He'll get a bit of a push. Apparently he's been wrestling on 205 Live. Some in matches don't really have much meaning because it's 205 Live, and as good as the talent is on there, nobody really, puts a lot of stock into it, even though there are some good matches, because it's just a show for programming, much like Main Event. We get fake DiBiase chants. Am I supposed to care about this match? Because nothing against Atlas or Grimes. I have no reason to care about these guys. We cut to a limo arriving with Ted DiBiase, and suddenly a music distraction. And Cameron Grimes is so upset by the music hitting, the music that played in the same video package that he played just a bit before, that he gets hit by the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling. Surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3. And then Grimes keeps trying to open the, limo door while holding onto it. And it's very obvious he's holding onto it. At least he didn't pull a Goldberg on Thunder and try to smash his arm through there. Was it Thunder or Nitro? I think it was Thunder. But anyway, and then Ted DiBiase says, "You are no $1 million man." Continuing this whole thing that just will not end. Bronson Reed has his first match 14 years ago. And, man, that's shocking. I didn't know he'd been wrestling that long. I figured it was about 10. I just didn't realize it was 14. But good for him. Good video package. And Dunn is interviewed by the same guy that interviewed Adam Cole. I didn't catch his name. I didn't care, but at least they're trying to treat it more like a sport. And Dunn talks about going for championships, how British strong style has influenced how he has, done his work. And Pete Dunne is a really good worker. Really, really good worker. One of the best wrestlers that WWE has. And all of NXT, Raw, SmackDown, whatever. So, we have Alexander Wolf with Imperium. Not the good member of Imperium. Walter. It's nothing against Bartel and Eichner. I just don't care about Imperium. And he took on Dane with Drake. The good Drake, by the way, not Drake Wirtz. But Drake Wirtz deserves to be fucking fired. For all his conspiracy theory bullshit, he shouldn't be employed by any company. You can have different views. You shouldn't be employed if you're going to spout that kind of rhetoric and bring a lot more bad publicity to a company that has no problem creating bad publicity for itself. I didn't care. Wolf hesitated using a chair, crossbody from Dane 1, 2, 3. And then the European bomb or Imperium bomb or the Axis bomb, whatever the hell they're calling it. Wolf gets pinned or Wolf gets beaten up afterwards. He's out of Imperium. Watch them try to swerve us by having Drake Maverick join Imperium because they need somebody from Munchkin. That's unfair. Drake Maverick's a really good wrestler. I don't know where he's going to fit in except as a comedy guy because that's all he basically has been seen as, even though he has a really good story and I'm glad he has income. I still can't get over how WWE used his actual firing. While some people were struggling to figure out what they were going to do with their careers in the middle of a pandemic, they turned Drake's, run or, Drake's, firing into a storyline. And that's not Drake's fault. It's just, it still sticks with me after a year. And I also don't care about the storyline. So, interview with Dakota and Raquel. Everrise interrupts, and Raquel knocks one of them out. Or at least slaps one of them. Okay? And Everrise spilled coffee. How dare you? That might have cost you about 50 cents, in a cup. The best part of waking up is Raquel slapping you in the face. That's not how Folgers works, but whatever. So, Ciampa and Thatcher versus Wilder Mendoza. Good stuff. It was really good stuff. Again, fired Drake Wirtz. He shouldn't be there. Mendoza's nose got busted open. Hopefully he's alright. It looks like they cleared up during the break, which was smart. They did have a few awkward double-team spots, but there was also some really high-level work here, as you would expect with these guys. The heels take over for a while. And then, more good back and forth. We get Willow's Bell. Oh no, Ciampa and Thatcher are going to get the victory. Oh no, grizzled young veterans interfere while the referee's distracted because, I don't know, Drake maybe thought there's a child being traumatized there with a mask. Oh no, Drake, there are actual real problems in the world, not made up ones in your concussed, rattled brain. So, Legoland Phantasm get the victory. And then Bobby Fish interview, he wants Dunn and Lorcan, and they show the surgical scar. I give it 6 months, maybe even 3 before he's injured again because the injury bug has bitten Bobby Fish and it will not let go. And I'm not wishing it. That just seems to be the case. Candice and Indy are going to leave the spa. Her credit card gets denied. The spa worker's asking, well, have you bought anything big lately? Chocolates, flowers, and stuff like that. And she's like, wait. Andy's like, wait, you did all that? Wait, that means it didn't come from Ember and Shotzi. That means Loomis does care about it. He still loves me. They're continuing this storyline, and they're going to lose the tag title soon. When they've already hotshot him around a whole bunch. Gargano says he will win tonight. I like Indy. Indy and Loomis seem to have a good chemistry. I don't really care for the way. They just don't interest me. Saray versus Aaliyah with Jessica Kamea and Robert Stone. Saray wins and life goes on. Give me a reason to care about her. And Aaliyah, I think she's been in NXT since dinosaurs roamed the earth. So we get Tank Talk with Shotzi and Ember. They can rebuild it. They have the technology and the money and the production value. So, Diamond Mine. Who is it? Probably Duke and Shafir. Please let it be Duke and Shafir, not Tessa Blanchard. Nese and Daivari took on Shantae D. Adonis and AJ Francis, and basically I'm calling them the limited promo soldiers because outside of Swerve, everybody looks incredibly uncomfortable on camera. Adonis isn't a bad worker. This guy, Francis, apparently the guy that hosts WWE's Lost Treasures, reminds me of Rapmaster PN News. That's a deep cut for wrestling fans, and that's not a good thing. He starts saying, yo, baby, yo, I freaking walk. So, this ain't gonna work. This group, when in doubt, adding more stables doesn't fucking help. This goes for WWE, New Japan, AEW, any wrestling company. It's got a big roster. You don't need to do more stables when you don't have anything for somebody. So, they cut promos or rap. I stopped caring, even though I like Swerve, and I hope the Swerve gets something good out of this. Regal says that Phantasm will face MSK in 2 weeks for the tag titles. And we get, he's signing more women in cruiserweights to just sit on the sidelines, apparently. I'm kidding. Ember and Shotzi versus Dakota and Raquel next week. And the winners face Candice and Io. Candice and Indy, I imagine, a takeover in your house, which is coming up in just under a month. Todd Pettingill's going to come back. Reed versus Gargano steel cage match for the North American title. They didn't give us a lot of time because by the time they got done with the intros and everything, I think with the overtime it was, 15, 16 minutes? Now, you don't need to have matches go forever. It was power versus speed and also Theory interfering a little too much. I understood what they were trying to do, but the interference spots got a little bit annoying. And I'm not talking like, I want to see this heel get beat. Like, okay, enough already. You're not New Japan with the Bullet Club. You're WWE with decisively less creative, input or less creative output. So anyway, the Poison Rana, don't know why anybody would do that. It's a stupid maneuver. The cage door to the head, and then we get a, powerbomb off the ropes. We get a splash off the ropes, and then Theory gets sent down and Tsunami! And that's it. New North American champion. And, alright, North American title means something. It's not that Gargano isn't good. It's not that Gargano shouldn't be a champion, but it's gotten boring here. They need to do something like move the way up to SmackDown or Raw or something. They need to freshen up NXT because there are some people that have been there so goddamn long and you can only polish them up so much before it just doesn't mean anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.